Hi, it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec, and today I'm joining the Punched Out Thursday to Die For gang. We share ideas every Thursday on what to do with your punches and your dies. I'm going to put links to Ronnie's, Kathy's, and Krista's channels below, so be sure to check them out because they are super creative. Now here's what I'm going to be using. I have paper from Cartabella's Summer Market collection, and I'll be using a bunch of tools as well, but I'll be talking about those throughout the process. I did a bit of preparation in advance. I made that frame style foundation with 2 sheets of paper and I gutted one of them. There is a tutorial on my channel for how I make foundation pages, so I'll link that up below. So I got a bunch of paper. That acetate I showed you, I won't be using that after all. I do have 2 photos there as well. I have a basket of punches, but the most important ones are the ones here that I'm showing you. The hearts and the splotch are from Creative Memories, and that leaf punch is from Stampin' Up. Now the first thing I'm going to do is create a mini foundation page, and basically that's where I'm going to be placing my photos, my title, my text, and most of the embellishing. So I'm starting with this green block of paper, and I will put measurements for all of this on the screen. And now I'm cutting down 2 narrow strips, so that's going to serve as a shelf underneath my photos. Now I'm sorry, when I'm preparing these page parts, I'm quite zoomed in and I don't have room for my page as well as my tools on the screen at the same time, and I apologize for that. It's just the way my setup is right now, and eventually that will change, hopefully. But when I do put my page together, I'm hoping it's on the screen. So now what I'm going to do is trim down these pieces of paper, and like I said, all measurements are on the screen, but this narrow 1-inch piece, I'm going to turn it into a banner. So that's a triple banner punch from Stampin' Up. That one is 1 inch wide, and that's going to be part of the shelf. And as you can see, I cut that white piece of paper out. That's where my journaling will go later on. And now what I'm doing is cutting down 2 photo mats in this bright red paper, so you can kind of see how my page is shaping up. Now what I'm going to do, once I trim the corners of that white paper, I round the corners just to soften it up a little bit. I kind of like the look. And I'm going to show you 2 die sets, and I cut my title out in advance with dies with my Big Shot machine. So those large ones are retired dies from Stampin' Up called large letter framelits, and the smaller ones I showed you, those are current dies. Those are from Fawn. They're like stitched alpha or something like that. There's this embossed stitching down the middle. I'm going to put all the tools I'm using in a list in the information box in case you're interested. Anyway, I cut the title out in advance and I adhered it to wax paper, and now what you see me doing is adhering the main parts to this mini foundation page. So I have the shelf there, the white block where my journaling's going to go. I put my photos there, and I will adhere the word Canada underneath, almost like a shelf. I stopped the camera and continued putting the letters down, but the word day and 2020, I'm going to keep them separate right now because they are going to be part of my embellishment clusters. So I have that banner punch, those little flags there. That's a retired one from Stampin' Up, and that's where I'm going to place the word day, right underneath that shelf. I'm not going to adhere it right away. For the top, I want to put 2020 up top, and I have another 1-inch strip of paper, so I'm making myself another banner with that triple banner punch. Basically, I'm kind of eyeballing it and then retrimmed the end just to have an idea of how long it will be. I wanted it to be short, but just house the year 2020. And now, before adhering 2020 to that banner, what I'm doing is taking the banner and running it through my Big Shot with a die, and that die set is called Stitched Labels Framelits. Again, it's from Stampin' Up, and the one I'm using is just an embossed line of stitching. You can see I have a smaller banner as well, and I cut that off screen simply because I'm using a punch that isn't going to be released until August 1st from Stampin' Up. I will list it below, however. It's another one of those triple banner punches, but actually there's 6 in there. Anyway, I guess you can see it August 1st on the Stampin' Up site. So now what you see me doing is punching out a whole bunch of hearts with the Creative Memories Hearts punches. So I have 3 hearts, or 3 sizes of hearts, but 6 hearts. And then I punched myself out 6 leaves. That was from a punch from Stampin' Up. Those little splotches, it's an old punch from Creative Memories, as well as those tiny little white flowers. So basically I'm inspired by that paper there with strawberries on it. And I'm going to create myself some strawberries. So I'm taking that splotch piece that I punched out, I cut it in half, and I'm adhering it on top of this heart. So basically I'm making kind of rudimentary hearts here. Behind it, I'm adhering a leaf. It's like the strawberry has just been picked off the plant, and I'm using this, it's called Sticky Specs. It's like a sheet adhesive, and it's good for really fine, detailed things. And in this case, I'm using those tiny flowers. So I'm also adhering those tiny white flowers. Again, I got all of that inspiration from that printed paper that I showed you a minute ago. So I'm making a second strawberry here, again, doing the very same thing, cutting that splotch in half, adhering it to the top of the heart, then I'm going to put a leaf behind it, and then I'm going to adhere a flower on top of it. What I do as well is I take that black pen and I just add a few little dots on top of that heart, just to give a little, you know, kind of a textured look to this strawberry. Then I stop the camera and I make a whole bunch more. And basically my embellishment clusters are going to mostly be made up of these strawberries. So I'm going to create a little cluster beneath the word day. That's going to be my main embellishment cluster. I'm going to do something around that banner at the top of the page, 2020, and another little cluster over to the left. So what you see me doing now is adding some twine and some foam adhesive behind this little flag banner. And at this point I decide I can't continue because I want to add some stamping to that white, and also I realize at this point that my embellishment clusters, the strawberries, are going to kind of spill over onto the white. So now is the time to do some stamping. So that's an old stamp set, or it might be current, I don't even know. It's from Stampin' Up. It's called Gallery Grunge, and all I was looking for was a stamp set that had a little bit of texture in it, and basically I'm doing a little bit of stamping in the 3 areas where there will be embellishment clusters, and that's an ink. It's called Soft Sky from Stampin' Up. I found it was kind of the closest to that aqua blue color I have on the page. So now I adhered that mini foundation page to the main foundation page, and I can now adhere my clusters to the page. So you can see how these strawberries are almost spilling over underneath the word day there. That's why I had to adhere my foundation page, my mini foundation page, to the foundation page at this point. Some of these I'm adding foam adhesive, and behind some of these strawberries I'm adding this metallic thread. Again, another product from Stampin' Up. I just twisted some behind my figure, tucked it behind the strawberry, adhered it with a glue dot, and it again adds a bit of texture and interest to the embellishment clusters. I added 2020 to that banner on the top, and I put some foam adhesive there, but I didn't adhere right away because I'm not quite sure if I want a strawberry there or not. So now I'm working on the left side cluster, and I end up just putting 1 strawberry there with a bit of that metallic thread behind it, and I decide to go for another small strawberry, but it's almost completely tucked under that banner with the numbers 2020 on it, and again that's popped up on foam adhesive. I'm almost done here. I do add some journaling lines with this stencil from Echo Park. Actually, it's not from Echo Park, it's from Cartabella from the Home Away collection. And I quickly adhere it down with this painter's tape, but I didn't do a very good job because my stencil moved when I started inking with black ink and a sponge brayer, but I do end up lining it up. It's kind of messy, but when I add my journaling at the end, you can't really tell. Anyway, I'm good with it. You'll see it at the end. To finish off, I'm going to add a few enamel dots in the middle of those tiny white flowers, and that was just some Felicity Jane enamel dots I had in my stash. And then you're going to see me get out these self-adhesive sequins that I also had in my stash. Again, those are from Stampin' Up! And I was quite hesitant about them, but I actually quite like them. So I put those in the 3 embellishment clusters. And the only thing I do after is my journaling, of course. I end up pushing up the word day a little bit. And you're going to notice the corners of that white paper, I rounded them with my corner rounder. And I really like that look. I haven't ever done that before. So that's it for Punched Out Thursday for me this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Scrapbooking Quebec, I would be absolutely thrilled if you did. Also, be sure to check out the other ladies. Their links are listed in the information box below. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.